Welcome to Portal number 2, Facilities and Enrollment Information. My name is Frederick Tebow, Senior Manager of Planning Services, and I will be your host. In this portal, we will go over the existing status quo scenario in the town of Milton as it relates to secondary school accommodation and how they are related to the two primary goals of the school-bound review process. This portal will also provide you with a synopsis of what is to occur over the next 3 years in relation to projected enrollment numbers and the limitations on how we can accommodate students. As stated in Portal number 1, significant enrollment pressures have triggered the need to initiate a school-bound review for the town of Milton. Therefore, this section will provide an overview of the current facility and enrollment outlook for the secondary panel in the town of Milton for the following 3 important years. For the 2020-2021 school year, which is the upcoming school year, the 2021-2022 school year, which we're referring to as the interim accommodation school year, which is related to goal number 2, and then finally the 2022-2023 school year, which is the targeted opening of the Milton number 3 Catholic Secondary School. In relation to the first goal of the school-bound review, the School-Bound Review Committee was tasked with creating the ultimate school boundary for the future Milton number 3 Catholic Secondary School community, which will in part also inform goal number 2. As you'll see by this existing status quo boundary for both the Jean Vanier and the Bishop Redding Catholic Secondary Schools, there is a much higher concentration in terms of the number of schools associated to the Jean Vanier family of schools. Currently, Bishop Redding has 4, whereas Jean Vanier currently has 6 existing schools, as well as 3 planned schools that have yet to be constructed or opened. Therefore, as part of this exercise, we'll be looking at all the existing and proposed elementary schools that make up the current 2 family of schools in the town of Milton and redistribute these elementary schools to the 3 total Milton secondary schools, being Jean Vanier, Bishop Redding, and Milton number 3 Catholic Secondary School. The second goal of this bound review is to create an interim accommodation plan for secondary students in the town of Milton for the 2021-2022 school year until Milton number 3 Catholic Secondary Schools opens. Now, with regards to enrollment projections, I would like to first direct your attention to the format of this chart, as this will be the type of chart that will be presented as part of the subsequent options. First and foremost, the bars represented between the year 2019 to 2033 represents the total student enrollment for each respective year. These enrollments are divided between 4 separate programs, being the regular track program, the French immersion program, the extended French program, and the international student program. The gray line here represents the total built capacity of the school. This is permanent classroom spaces. So in total, Bishop Redding, following the completion of its addition, will have an approximate capacity of 1,550 pupil places over the long term. The red line represents the total max site capacity. So this is a combination of the total built capacity with the total number of portables that are permitted on site and the capacity associated to those portables. Now, with regards to the enrollment projections in the 2 key years that were discussed previously, for the 2020-2021 school year, a total of 32 portables will be required on site, whereas for the 2021 school year, 34 portables will be required on site. Over the long term of the Bishop Redding enrollment projection, you will note that starting in 2022, the total site capacity will be surpassed, requiring additional portables beyond the 33 maximum currently in place. For Jean Vanier, as you'll note, the enrollment projections project a very steep increase over time as development continues within the area. Specific to the 2020-2021 school year, staff is currently working with the town of Milton in order to increase the total number of portables permitted on site, which is currently estimated at 38, and increase it to between 52 to 54 portables for this year. At this point, we will be able to accommodate all students on site. However, for the 2021-2022 school year, staff is also working in collaboration with the town of Milton to attempt increasing the total number of portables permitted on site to 60. Now, do note, albeit that we can only physically fit 60 portables on site, a total of 64 to 66 portables will be required to accommodate the full student enrollment for the 2021-2022 school year. This is why the interim accommodation option is currently being explored as goal number 2 of the school boundary review process. Now, with regards to growth, it should be noted that the vast majority of new development growth that is occurring in the town of Milton is presently directed at Vanier Catholic Secondary School. The secondary plan areas 1 and 2, which are the Boyne East and Boyne West secondary plans, are currently being directed at Vanier and are those that are currently under development at this present time. Also note that secondary plans 5 and 6, which are the Britannia East and West and Trafalgar Corridor secondary plans, respectively, are also being directed at Vanier. Do note, however, that these 2 secondary plans are intended to be redirected to the Milton No. 3 Catholic Secondary School in holding in anticipation for the new Milton No. 4 Catholic Secondary School to open its doors. Now, with regards to the 3 school years leading up to the 2021-2022 interim accommodation plan year, for 2019-2020, we have been able to accommodate all students on site with a necessary number of portables. Do note for the 2019-2020 school year that 50 portable classrooms are permitted at Bishop Redding. However, during this time, we are still constructing the 29 classroom addition at the school. Following the completion of this addition, this will drop to 33 portables permitted on site as the maximum. For 2020-2021, we anticipate that we will be more than capable of accommodating all students on site through the current minor variance and minor site plan, as well as temporary use bylaw submissions that we have with the town of Milton. Now, for the 2021-2022 school year, this is where the interim accommodation plan comes into play, especially for the Vanier Catholic Secondary School community. As we noted earlier, we can only fit 60 portables on site. This is the physical limitation of the site, not necessarily approvals that are required. This said, we will have to find a way through our interim accommodation planning to accommodate for an additional 4 to 6 classrooms on site. Please note that albeit for Bishop Redding having 1 extra portable classroom required beyond the maximum of 33 portables permitted on site, we are confident that we'll be able to find a solution to accommodate this classroom through scheduling. Now, to summarize, for the 2020-2021 school year, we do not anticipate to have any issues in terms of accommodating students at their present location. Do know, however, for the 2021-22 school year, this is where we are foreseeing some issues because the number of portables that are required at the Vanier Catholic Secondary School location, exceeding the maximum number of portables permitted on site. Therefore, as part of goal number 2 of this process, we are exploring alternative accommodation strategies in order to accommodate students sufficiently for that year, in anticipation for the Milton No. 3 Catholic Secondary School to open. This concludes portal number 2, facilities and enrollment information. Please proceed to portal number 3, boundary review criteria. Thank you.